Jutin Posey said something pretty direct. You don't need any knowledge of Forrest Fenn's thrill of the chase to solve this puzzle. But here's the thing. Jutin spent years searching for Fenn's treasure. He walked those rivers, read the books, stared at the maps, obsessed like so many of us. So what if, without meaning to, he brought some of that world into his own hunt? What if his years in the chase left behind breadcrumbs, not copied clues, but shaped instincts, and that might just be the key. Clue 1, the starting point. Posey's poem begins like this. Can you find what lives in time flowing through each measured rhyme? That line isn't just lyrical, it's asking a direct question. It's asking you to find something that lives in time, something that flows. Could that be a river? Sound familiar? Let's go back, because in the thrill of the chase, Forrest Fenn said everything starts with, begin it where warm waters halt, and take it in the canyon down. Here's what Fenn taught us about starting points. In Forrest's puzzle, the first two clues didn't take you far. They just rooted you, held you in place. The word that mattered was it. Begin it. Not begin walking, not begin moving. The it was a river, a natural flow, a geographic constant. Searchers made one critical mistake. They found the first clue and then they left it, got in their car, walked away, missed the treasure completely, because the real key was understanding that the first two clues weren't about movement. They were about orientation, about being still until the next line unlocked direction. So what does this have to do with Jutin Posey? Let's look again at that first stanza. Can you find what lives in time, flowing through each measured rhyme? He's giving us something constant, something that flows, something timeless. That sounds like a river to me, but here's the twist. Posey references his brother Brandon as one of the compass points we'll need to solve the hunt. And in Fenn's world, Donnie Joe was that figure, the companion on the journey, the stabilizer, the navigational anchor. Remember the story in Looking for Lewis and Clark about how Forrest navigated his journey with Donnie Joe in the Gallatin National Forest after burning the map by following rivers, creeks. Likewise, Forrest stated multiple times that he really admired early frontiersmen, especially the exploits of Osborne Russell in Journal of a Trapper. Forrest provoked us to also read it because it helps us understand that frontiersmen used to navigate vast, uncharted wilderness by following rivers, creeks, and looking for specific ridgelines or valleys. They often named these geographic locations based on what they observed or sensed at the location. Keep this sentence in mind for a later clue. Posey may have taken the idea of finding direction not through coordinates, but through connection. Multiple threads, 1 point. The beauty of Posey's writing is that a single clue often holds multiple meanings. What lives in time could be a river, a legacy, or even a story. Measured rhyme isn't just about poetry, it's about cadence, location, maybe even a metronome. And if we overlay this with Fenn's logic, then maybe the first clue isn't about where you go. It's about what you find and hold on to. Just like in Fenn's hunt, Posey might be telling us, don't rush past the first clue. Don't move until you understand the flow. So here's the question. Is the first clue in Beyond the Map's Edge just a poetic opening line? Or is it the fixed point, the true north, where everything begins? And if Jutin Posey's mind was shaped by the chase, maybe the hunt we're in now isn't so different after all. This is beyond the map, and the first step might be the one where you stand still. Osborne Russell, 1814-1892, was a mountain man, trapper, explorer, and later a politician. But his enduring legacy comes from his personal journal, which was later published as Journal of a Trapper, 1834-1843. This book is an authentic, first-hand account of life in the Rocky Mountains during the golden age of the fur trade. Russell wrote vividly about his years roaming what is now Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and Yellowstone, long before it was a national park. Why is he important to treasure hunters? Osborne Russell's journal became required reading for serious Forrest Fenn searchers, and likely also for Jutin Posey, who explicitly references early frontiersmen in the framing of Beyond the Map's Edge. Here's why. Natural navigation, Russell described how trappers and explorers navigated without maps, using creeks and rivers as pathways, mountain ridgelines as guides, landmarks named by observation, not science. This style of orientation directly influenced how Forrest Fenn, and perhaps now Posey, built their clue logic. The land tells the story. Though a rough frontiersman, Russell had a poetic sense of place. He often described the quiet majesty of high country, the solitude of unknown canyons, the eternal flow of rivers as guides through the wilderness. It mirrors Posey's line, "Can you find what lives in time, flowing through each measured rhyme?" Russell lived what Posey is writing about. Russell was among the first non-Indigenous people to describe the Yellowstone region in detail. His journal gives one of the earliest written accounts of geysers, hot springs, and high-altitude wilderness, areas often associated with treasure legends and deep symbolism. Some believe Osborne Russell's journal inspired locations in Fenn's hunt, and may be echoed in Posey's, especially if Beyond the Map's Edge leads to high Montana country. Osborne Russell was a man of the threshold, living on the edge of maps, in lands unnamed, following rivers, not roads. His journal isn't just history, it's a philosophical guide for those who believe discovery lives where certainty ends. Straight from the Beyond the Map's Edge official website, the question gets asked, do I need to be an expert on the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt? His answer, no. While this hunt carries forward elements of Fenn's legacy, including pieces of his actual treasure, it stands on its own. The Netflix series shares the treasure hunt story, but knowledge of Forrest Fenn and his treasure hunt isn't required to solve this new mystery. So officially, you don't need to have read Fenn's poem, followed the forums, or stood where warm waters halt. But unofficially, we have to ask, if Jutin Posey spent years chasing Fenn's treasure, if he learned to think like a trapper, a river walker, a frontiersman, did any of that mindset slip into the DNA of Beyond the Map's Edge? Did his map inherit Fenn's edges? We'll let you decide, but we're looking for the signs. If you want to see where these clues really lead and unlock the rest of today's full episode, click the join button and become part of the expedition. Expedition members get full-length clue videos, boots-on-the-ground reports, multiple members-only videos each week, exclusive live streams where we break down theories live. This is content made only for those willing to go beyond the map. If you're serious about the hunt, this is where it gets real. Click join now and I'll see you inside.